Hey everyone, my name is Devin Schreiner. I also go by MeatyMitts online. I just want to make a quick video today to talk to you about my experiences with this phone right here. It's called the LG Wing. Alright, so first off, I just want to preface this. This isn't going to be really a review of the phone. There's a ton of those online already. I really just wanted to talk more about my experiences with this phone. If you find that interesting, great. If not, if you're looking for a review, a full review of whether you should buy it or not, whether it's a phone that is comparable to your current phone or not, you might want to take a look at a different video. Alright, so I've had this for almost a month now. I've been using it as my daily driver almost that whole time. First thing I wanted to talk about is the design. So I played a ton with Samsung. I had a Galaxy Fold, a Galaxy Z Fold for a while. Didn't care for it too much. Had it for almost a month too. Ended up getting rid of it. Had it, and I ended up using the small screen way too often. I didn't, just for getting a quick notification, didn't want to open it all the way up and see the gigantic screen just to see a Twitter notification and that kind of stuff. So I ended up using the small screen more often than the big screen, and that just really turned me off of that phone. But I saw this phone, and this one got me really excited because it's a regular phone. On the main screen, the time that you use it all the time, it's a regular phone. So that got me really excited. If I was going to use it like a regular phone, it's already a regular phone. It's not a tiny little display like on the Galaxy Fold. The cool thing about this one is it obviously flips out. It's got a wing, and then it's got this extra little screen down here. I was honestly couldn't wait to scour the internet, find everybody that was hacking this, modding this, changing this, writing custom ROMs for it, and I couldn't wait to see what the online community for this looked like, because I could only imagine with such a cool piece of hardware that was going to be a huge thing. The community was going to be massive, and the custom built apps for this were going to be insane. Unfortunately, that's part of one of the reasons why I am not a fan of this, is because that custom stuff doesn't exist. It's not there. I couldn't find any of it. It's like modders just completely missed out on this phone, even though it's just got some amazing hardware on it. So I wanted to talk about the design, though. It is weird, strange. It is not like any other phone out there, but I really feel like it works. It works on a couple of different levels. This right here, I love holding the phone this way. Everybody's used to holding their phones vertically. I found myself opening the phone up just to watch a video. Even when I wasn't going to use the bottom screen, I would open it up to be able to watch a video and just hold it like this. And this is so much more comfortable to hold than this. Trying to hold it sideways, horizontal for you. This is not a good way to hold your phone. It hurts. One-handed, I can hold this forever. It's just like holding your phone. The build is pretty solid. When I first took it out of the box, I was really impressed with it. After, again, about a month of playing with it, I've definitely noticed a few things. The clicking, the sliding of this, pretty satisfying, not gonna lie. If you ever get a chance to just hold one, try it. It's pretty satisfying. I like it. It is really big. Obviously, it's got two pieces. It's almost like two phones stuck together. It's pretty big. I'll take the case off here a second. It's a pretty big phone. Pretty thick, pretty heavy. Not crazy. I was actually, again, when I took it out of the box, I couldn't believe how thin it was for what it was. But it's definitely bigger and heavier than most phones out there. Another thing that I noticed, another unfortunate thing that I noticed is when I was doing things like typing, a lot of times I like to do the one thumb swiping. This one I ended up, a lot of times when I'm trying to swipe, my thumb will get stuck and I'll start opening the phone instead of swiping. So again, another little just unfortunate thing that is probably a lot just me here. Wanted to mention too that I did crack this. So I used it for a couple of, like 2 weeks, and then I was like, okay, I'm actually gonna use this as my phone. I'm gonna order a case. So I got just a super basic case, started putting it on the phone, and I pressed right here just a little bit too hard apparently, and just my thumb just fully pressed into the screen and just cracked it. So that's how that goes. I don't know what kind of glass this is, if it's Gorilla Glass, whatever, but it is. I pressed it too hard and cracked it, which always makes me nervous now. Anytime I'm typing, using it, touching the screen, anything like that, I'm worried I'm gonna touch it too hard and crack it again. Again, I don't know if that's just one of those weird things that happened to me that's never gonna happen again. Probably don't have to worry about it. But the other thing is, because this is thicker, because it's 2 pieces, there's space in between those things. So when you are pressing down on the screen, there's a little bit of give in there. And I don't know if there's any way that I can show you that. I don't think there's a visible give, but it's one of those things that you notice the more you use it. When you press down, when you press on the screen, it moves. It physically moves. So something that you kind of get used to, but then I kept noticing it. The more I use it, the more I'm like, man, it's moving and bouncing, and it's almost it just feels like eventually it's gonna give out type of thing. It just doesn't feel great. All right, so a couple of the app experiences, things that make this phone really great. Obviously, the default is video and something else. Super easy. You can pin. It just automatically started playing, so that's great. So super easy. You can literally pin 2 apps at the same time. One you want to open on the top and the bottom. So this is, one of the most common things here that I use was YouTube or Twitch on top, and then Twitter on the bottom. So I can just be literally watching a video and just scrolling through Twitter, aimlessly scrolling. Any of those social media apps work great there. Twitter probably the best because it's mostly just text. Screen. And by the way, you can actually do it any way you want to. So if you are scrolling, a social media, Twitter, whatever, on the big screen, and you want a video, you want something else on that side, you can do it that way too. However you want to orient the phone, it works in all of the different ways. You can have it like this, however you want it. So that's super cool. That's another one of those things they did super right. All right, and then one other thing I was going to talk about, one of the reasons I was waiting for this phone was for games. I couldn't wait to play my emulated games, play all the different types of games, whatever you could think of on the top screen, and have the controls on the bottom screen, right? Super awesome. So I mean, that right there, having that just free for your thumbs, everything up there is your screen, your gameplay. Amazing phone for playing games, right? I was really looking forward to all of that different stuff. And again, unfortunately, as I mentioned earlier, I couldn't find the community of modders. I couldn't find the community of hackers that were creating custom games and different things for this. As far as I know, if you can find one, if you have found one that works, please let me know. But I have not found anything as far as games that work with a controller on the bottom screen. I haven't found. I assumed the first thing everybody was going to do was create an emulator to go on the top. Let me play some Game Boy games, some Super Nintendo games on the top with the controllers on the bottom. Unfortunately, I don't think it exists. I couldn't find anything. So if you know of anything, if you found anything, definitely let me know. Love to give it a try. I could see carrying this around as just a little gaming device, so I don't wear out the battery on my my standard phone. This would be a great little device for that. So. The other thing I did use it for was putting a game on the big screen, and you can put up a browser on the bottom to see guides or talk about walkthrough or strategies or best practice, whatever you want. Basically the same thing. Multitasking, again, I just wanted to mention, like, multitasking on this feels so much better than it has on literally any other phone. The fact that it's got two separate screens feels so good. Putting, it's got a bunch of custom controls in here to work the different screens separately to do whatever you need. Feels really good. I love it. I will never probably multitask on any other phone. I don't care how big the screen is. Like, I'm never gonna multitask, even if it's on one of the Galaxy Folds, the big inside screen. It just doesn't make nearly as much sense as like multitasking on this. I love that. They did it right. All right, so the other really cool app on this, let me grab it here really quick, is the camera. So the camera is super fun. When it's flipped out, you've got the camera on the top, you've got all the controls on the bottom. Super nice. Makes that viewfinder super clear. You can see exactly what you're doing. Never touching that screen, you're never blocking it, none of the controls are getting in the way, anything like that. It does have this fun gimbal mode where you can actually move the camera around without having to physically move the phone. That gimbal mode also helps stabilize it, so when you're moving it around. I did do some video tests with this, super fun. The stabilization helps a little bit, but it's obviously the software stuff, so it's not great. Still a little jumpy, things like that. The thing that I don't like about this is that this has a 4K camera on the back, right? It can do video in 4K. But the 4K camera is when you're holding it like this. When you go like this, it'll record 4K this way, right? So when I flip this, the camera stays the same. So the 4K camera is going up and down right now. So the way that this records video this way is literally a 1080p slice of that 4K video that's going up and down. I know it's really weird. I had to do a lot of reading, watching videos on it. Doesn't make a lot of sense. But I'm really, really disappointed that they didn't put the 4K camera going horizontally when you're in this mode. If I'm gonna take a 4K video, I want to use this. I want to use the gimbal. This is so much easier to hold. I know it might look dumb, but man, this feels good, and I really did enjoy taking videos like this. I really just wish that my 4K camera could be used here and not just here. I found myself trying to decide, well, do I want to use the cool controls or do I want to use 4K camera? So the camera is awesome. Whoever decided that the 4K camera goes this way, though, I'm a little bit disappointed, and I disagree with that. The front-facing camera is a pop-up, so every time you switch it, that little camera pops up and down. Super fun party trick. People love it. Anytime somebody sees that, they're just like blown away. That's a futuristic phone. It's crazy. It's fun. Gives you just that little bit of extra screen real estate on the front. Again, the unfortunate thing is it's not a crazy good camera. It's a front-facing camera. It is definitely a little smaller, I'm assuming, to be able to fit it in there. But it is, it's fun. It impresses everybody. Everybody loves it. That is about what I wanted to talk about for this phone. This is the LG Wing. Super fun phone, super fun design. I love it. I really do love it. I won't probably be using it for much longer. Unfortunately, I was talking about it on Twitter the other day. The small little annoyances, the fingerprint reader not working, the screen breaking on me just randomly while I was trying to put the case on, the camera not being in 4K when you're in this mode. All of those little tiny things that aren't great about the phone really wear at the novelty super quick. Again, this is for the most part a novelty. There's nothing crazy important that you have to have this for. I think it's awesome. I would love it if more people made apps that worked with this. But right now, the fact that LG Mobile is no longer in business, nobody's going to be writing anything for this anytime soon, and chances are, since it was going to be classified under that failed phone at this point anyways. I'm guessing that nobody else is going to be making a form factor like this for a very long time. So.